Welcome to Just Learn Chinese, 光学汉语. In Lesson 1, I introduced 37 Chinese characters to be used as symbols for the phonetical elements in Mandarin. In this way, we can directly rely on real Chinese word sounds to learn Chinese pronunciation. Such a departure from using any non-Chinese Pinyin and Bopomofo symbols allows every learner to get familiar with and eventually master the phonetical elements in Mandarin and in any dialect along an asymptotic learning curve while building up your inventory of Chinese characters. 这真乃是一石二鸟啊, meaning one stone, two birds. In this lesson, I will show you how to identify the consonants in Mandarin and relate most of them to their counterparts in English and other human languages. As you might have realized that each word sound in Mandarin is far from a simple beep sound. Instead, it has components, colors, and tone variation.
历日思念，咫尺挂牵。
Just as Isaac Newton's prism first revealed the different color components in sound rays, an audio spectrograph allows us to visualize a word sound.
是
I will use this technology throughout my lessons on Just Learn Chinese. As you can see, the word sound can be divided at least into two components, its initial and the final sounds, apart from the variation in between. Of paramount importance in learning Mandarin is to identify the initial sound, or simply called the initial, while it is relatively easier to work out the final sound as long as you can say a word sound long enough, like bo, po. Italian opera again? No. I'm trying to separate a word sound into its initial and final sounds. Po. You can easily hear the final sound, and then your brain will let you know what the initial sound should be for this particular word sound. As shown in this audio spectrograph for the Chinese character fu, it is clear the initial sound f can be isolated by cutting and removing the rest of the syllable. So this f sound is one of the phonemes. In theory, it would appear one should use phonemes rather than the word sound in Mandarin in order to accurately generate a CV syllable. As I have reviewed, however, our brain can synthesize a CV syllable as long as the initial and the final sound are correct. This is the basis for me to developing this new studying method. In fact, ancient Chinese had used such an empirical method called 反切 to phonetically denote a Chinese word sound by using two Chinese characters long before Pinyin was introduced. I will discuss this issue elsewhere. Similarly, you can work out the initial sound for the rest of the 21 consonant Chinese characters. Please let me know how it is going.
博、坡、莫、夫、的、特、乐、呢、己、七、西、个、可、和、子、次、四、咫、尺、时、日。
To help you to study these 21 Chinese characters in order to know their initial sounds, I have used the related consonants in English for all of the initial sounds as shown in this table. As you can see, the majority of the initial sounds in Mandarin sounds the same or similar to that in other languages, which is not surprising at all, because after all, Mandarin is one of human languages. Let's start them one by one. The initial for bo, po, mo, fu are b, p, m, f in many languages. The initial for d, t, n, n are d, t, l, n. The initial for ji, chi, shi are ji, sh, shi. Notice the initial of the Chinese character shi sounds the same as the sh in shi and English. Shi is a voiced syllable in Mandarin, which is final as e rather than the voiceless phonemes. Sh. Next, the initial sounds of the three consonants in Mandarin, zi, ci, si, are identical to the English consonants ds as in friends and kinds, ts as in cats, and s as in see, as s in see and study, syllable, and so on. So you can see Mandarin is not so difficult to learn as far as its basic consonants is concerned. Quite often, unnecessary confusion arises when learners stick with those English alphabets in Pinyin, assuming they might sound the same as in English. Thus, the last four consonants Chinese characters in Mandarin sound completely aliens for many people, even for the majority of native Chinese speakers. As a good approximation, however, you can simply treat zhi, chi, shi as zi, ci, si, respectively, as all of the people living in Sichuan and other surrounding provinces do. To learn the actual sounds of these four Chinese characters, it is necessary to study how to make such air frictional sound by partially curving your tongue. It is similar to make the th sound f in English, but you have ensured the turbulent airflow is formed before it escapes from your teeth. Once you can make this airflow sound through your front teeth, you can add the three initials zi, ci, si as zhi, chi, shi, while keeping making the irritating airflow sound. Don't worry, if you find it difficult, you can always learn from the good Mandarin speakers, such as the lady in this TVC.
历日思念，咫尺挂牵，杯里月饼。
Don't forget you can learn from such Mandarin phrases. 好日子 nice day. 元月1日 1st of January. 10月10日 10th of October. 我的生日 my birthday. 日出 sunrise. 日历 calendar. 日本 Japan. I will provide more drills for you to master these consonants, Chinese characters. To summarize briefly, the sound of each Chinese character for the consonants in Mandarin can be separated as an initial sound and a final sound. Most of initial sounds in Mandarin are the same as the consonants in English, except for the four unique initial sounds with curved tongue. Remember, s'il vous plaît, the English letters in this table only represent the initial sounds of the 21 Chinese characters, rather than their word sounds. So you really have to learn their word sound from a Mandarin speaker. Because when you learn Mandarin, you use their word sounds. So don't be slaves of the English notation here. Take it easy. You are not going to learn a completely different new language from another planet. Please learn and practice the word sounds for the 37 Chinese characters every day. That will determine how well you can speak Mandarin in a long run. That's all for today. See you next time.